Dealing with disrespect is never easy, especially when you don't know how to handle the situation. Not knowing how to react can leave you feeling helpless, vulnerable, and powerless. It's not just about being insulted. It's about the lasting impact that disrespect can have on your self-esteem and overall mental well-being. The truth is that disrespect can come from anyone, anywhere, at any time, and without warning, which is why it's crucial to know how to handle it the smart way. While alpha males may confront disrespect head-on, sigma males take a different approach. Even though some may not agree with their methods, here are 10 clever ways sigma males handle disrespect. 1. They keep calm to prevent impulsive reactions. How many times have you regretted reacting impulsively to a tense situation? While the initial satisfaction may feel good, it's not always the smartest move. Rather than responding with anger or aggression, sigma males remain composed and think before acting. This allows them to respond rationally rather than emotionally, which can often make things worse. Making wise choices requires maintaining rational thinking and self-control, even when someone is trying to get under their skin. So when disrespected, these guys will pause, take a few deep breaths, and consciously relax their body and mind before responding. This stops the fight-or-flight adrenaline response from kicking in and allows them to properly evaluate the situation and context before deciding how to react. Instead of impulsively lashing out in anger, they carefully select their words and actions, making every move with intention and thoughtfulness. If the disrespect is just a misunderstanding, they give the benefit of the doubt and calmly explain their perspective. But if it's a clear personal attack, they might call out the unacceptable behavior directly and firmly. Either way, their self-discipline helps them handle disrespect with tact and reason. 2. Deciding if it's worth confronting them. While confrontation may seem like the most direct way to address disrespect, sigma males are masters at picking their battles. Not every rude comment or action requires a heated confrontation, and some people are not worth the energy or effort. Some have personality types that can be a bit harsh and hold on to bitterness, or just like to get a reaction out of others. Dealing with every offense can be tiring and feel like a lost cause. Not to mention, some people are just not open-minded or willing to listen to reason. Instead of wasting their time and energy trying to change someone who is closed off, sigma men choose to let go and move on. Not everyone will like them, and that's perfectly fine. They don't need validation or approval from others to feel confident about themselves. While you will rarely see an alpha male walk away from disrespect, sigma males can do it without hesitation and with complete peace of mind. This is not about being weak or afraid. It's about being strategic and knowing where to direct your energy. 3. Choosing silence or walking away. This is definitely one of the toughest things to do, especially when someone is pushing your buttons. While responding with a sharp comeback or insult may feel satisfying, you need to ask yourself, what do you gain from it? At the end of the day, disrespect is a reflection of the other person's character, not yours. That's why sigma males refuse to let someone else's negative behavior affect their own peace of mind. Sometimes, the most powerful response to disrespect is no response at all. While some may see this as weak, it's actually an act of strength and self-control. Silence speaks volumes and refuses to give someone the satisfaction of a reaction. There's a saying, never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. So there is no point in trying to engage in a battle if there is no chance of a rational discussion. It's better to walk away with your dignity intact than to stoop down to their level. The silence also frustrates the offender as they do not get the reaction they were hoping for. They want to see you upset, angry, or flustered, so don't give them that satisfaction. Walking away is a powerful statement, showing that you are above their petty behavior and refuse to entertain it. 4. Finding constructive ways to channel anger or frustration. It's no secret that disrespect can cause feelings of anger and frustration. Even the most composed people may feel a surge of emotions when faced with disrespect. However, instead of letting these negative feelings consume them, Sigma men try to channel their anger and frustration into something constructive. This could mean working out, engaging in a hobby, or simply taking some time for self-reflection and introspection. By redirecting their energy into something productive, they not only avoid the negative effects of pent-up anger, but also use it as motivation to better themselves. They know they cannot control how others treat them, but can control how they respond and use their emotions. It takes a lot of mental strength and maturity to do this, but it's really worth it in the long run. There is a saying, the best revenge is living well. Instead of seeking revenge or wallowing in anger, choose to revenge by rising above the negativity. This is a much more fulfilling way to handle disrespect. 5. Using logic and reason instead of emotions. As human beings, emotions play a major role in our day-to-day lives. It's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment when we feel disrespected, but reacting purely based on our emotions can often do more harm than good. This is where logic and reason come into play. That's why Sigma males don't let their feelings cloud their judgment or dictate their actions. They approach situations logically and rationally, carefully considering the consequences of their words and actions. No one can control how others behave, but you can control your own response. A logical and reasoned response will often be more effective in handling disrespect than an emotional one. Even if it doesn't immediately resolve the issue, it will demonstrate maturity and composure. It also shows that you are not easily swayed by petty insults or provocations. This is easier said than done, but you must train yourself to think before acting or speaking. It will save you from saying or doing something you might regret later on. Emotions are temporary, but the consequences of our actions can have long-lasting effects. 6. Leading by example and not stooping to the same level. Respect is something that we all want and deserve. However, when faced with disrespect, it can be tempting to revenge in the same manner. This can often result in a cycle of negative behavior that only escalates the situation. By not stooping to the same level as those who disrespect them, Sigma males try to maintain their integrity and self-control. Responding with aggression or insults will only further damage any chance of resolution and can even harm your own reputation. Not to mention, it goes against the very principles of mutual respect and understanding that Sigma men value. Sure, it may feel good in the moment to give someone a taste of their own medicine, but this will not bring about a positive outcome. Leading by example and responding with maturity will always make you appear to be the bigger person. It's like Gandhi's famous quote, "An eye for an eye only makes the whole world blind." By breaking the cycle of negativity, you may even inspire others to do the same. How many times have you seen a peaceful and rational response diffuse a potentially dangerous situation? I bet that if you've ever seen something like this, you would have wanted to respond the same way. 7. Setting clear boundaries without a need to prove themselves. Some people think that because Sigma males seem calm, they can mess around with them without consequences. However, these men are not pushovers. They assert themselves when boundaries are crossed, but they do it firmly and diplomatically. They don't need to prove themselves or seek revenge. When repeatedly disrespected, they make it crystal clear that such behavior won't be tolerated. They do it in a composed manner, clearly stating what is acceptable and what is not. Their calm and authoritative demeanor gets the message across forcefully without aggression. This approach commands respect and sets the tone for future interactions. The key here is that Sigma men don't let their ego take over. They set boundaries to maintain their own self-respect, not to prove something to others. Many people fall into the trap of trying to prove themselves when disrespected, often leading to further conflict and negative outcomes. While engaging in a power struggle may be tempting, you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? True strength lies in standing firm on your boundaries without letting others' opinions affect you. This is one of the reasons why Sigma males are so respected. 8. Changing perspective and understanding the motive behind the disrespect. Disrespect is never easy to handle, no matter the circumstance. However, changing your perspective and understanding the motive behind the disrespect can go a long way in effectively handling it. Perhaps the person disrespecting you is acting out due to a personal issue, or maybe a miscommunication led to the disrespect. Rather than reacting with anger or frustration, taking the time to try and understand where the disrespect is coming from may allow for a more productive conversation and a better chance at resolving the issue. By taking on this perspective, Sigma men can handle disrespect in a way that serves not only them, but also the person on the other end. The key is approaching the situation with empathy and a willingness to listen, rather than immediately dismissing or retaliating. It's not easy to do this, but it depends on what you value more, proving your point or finding a peaceful resolution. Sometimes the bigger person has to take the first step toward reconciliation, and Sigma men are not afraid to do so. This is where Sigma's emotional intelligence and self-awareness come into play, allowing them to navigate difficult situations with understanding. 9. Forgiving but not forgetting, learning from the experience. The saying goes, forgive and forget, but sometimes forgetting is simply not an option, especially when handling disrespect. Forgiving is a necessary step in the process, but it does not mean that one should totally forget what has happened. You can forgive someone for disrespecting you, but you need to learn from the experience and use it as a guide for handling future situations. Disrespect can be a painful experience, but it can also be an opportunity for growth and development. Sigma males don't hold grudges or seek revenge, especially when it comes to minor incidents. They choose to forgive and move on, but they also take note of the lesson learned. What's the point of going through it if you can't learn from it? Every experience, good or bad, can teach something valuable. 10. Focusing on self-improvement rather than seeking revenge. Disrespect can feel like a slap in the face, and it's natural to want to strike back with revenge. But that anger can be all-consuming. However, seeking revenge rarely leads to a positive outcome and leaves us feeling empty. Instead of dwelling on negative emotions and seeking payback, Sigma men focus on bettering themselves. Not only does self-improvement benefit us, but it also helps those around us. It means reflecting on ourselves and taking action to become a better version of who we are. As we grow, we become more capable of handling tough situations and conflicts in a positive way. By focusing on self-improvement, we can move forward from others' hurtful actions and take charge of our own lives. Remember, we have the power to control our actions and reactions, regardless of what others say or do.